Imagine being turned away from a church for the color of your skin. I want to tell you a story that's been with my family for years. It was around 1957. My mom was like 7 or 8 years old at the time, and my grandfather was sick. But he was deeply devoted to his faith and would go to church almost every single day, and my mom would go with him. They would walk a little over a mile to their church, St. Mary's. And one day they were on their walk and my grandfather just wasn't feeling well. So they decided to stop at a church that they were passing along the way. Now, it wasn't their church, but it was closer and he just really needed to sit down. They go inside, they're planning to sit quietly in the back, and a man approaches them and tells them that they don't belong there, that they should go to their own church with their own people, because this was a white church. Now, my mom says that she'll never forget the look on her father's face in that moment. Shame, the defeat, he shrank. They turned around and they left. My mom, being 8, thought that they were just going to go home. But my grandfather stopped her and said, "No, we're still going to church." Even though he wasn't feeling well, even after being turned away, nothing was going to stop him from sitting in prayer that day. They walked the full distance to their church anyway. And that part of the story always stayed with me. He made a decision to keep going, to not let someone else's limitations dictate his actions. That's unshrinking. I see it in my mom, the strength, the pride she carries, joy that she has in her eyes when she talks about him. Sadly, he passed not long after that story. Maybe he knew his time was limited. Maybe that wasn't just about church. Maybe it was about showing his daughter, my mom, who she was supposed to be and who he needed her to remember him as. I think about that story on days where I feel rejected, on days where something just doesn't go my way, on days where it would be easier to just turn around and go home, days where it would be easier to give up, because shrinking doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it just means stopping short of where you were trying to go. And unshrinking is deciding to keep walking, even when it would make the most sense not to. So if something gets in your way this week, ask yourself, are you turning around? Or like my grandpa, are you going to keep going?